been a while. My last video is my cosplay challenge thing, like my YouTube challenge, the anime challenge. That didn't go as well as I planned. The videos were really long and I rambled. So, I'm probably going to be deleting those because they did really bad. And we have 54 subscribers, about 6 more, and we're up to 60. And then I'll be doing my 60 subscriber video, and a big thanks for liking some of my CMVs and a bunch of my cosplay stuff. I have Comic-Con coming up, and it's going to be really tight in June and July making videos because I have a lot of stuff going on. So let's get right to it. So I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite animes and suggestions that I think other people should watch. So we're going to start out with some of my favorites, and we're going to go from there. So some of my favorite shows, one is Uta no Prince Sama. That one is a really good one. It's more of a musical. It's a reverse harem, so it's more of a dating sim anime, and it's really good. It's about a girl who goes to the school and she meets up with 6 guys, and they start a music group, and it's really good. It's kind of cheesy as it goes on, but it's one of my favorites because, one, it has to do with music, and I'm a big music freak, and musician is what I am and what I want to do more of, so I like music. Another one is Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is set back in Germany in the late 400s about 3 kids who live in these walls that are surrounded by titans. So humanity built a wall to keep titans out who would eat them. And it's about 3 kids who are at the outer wall, and there was an attack, and it made the whole system just be destroyed, and there were a lot of people that were getting hurt from it. And the 3 kids, Eren, Armin, and Mikasa, they had to get away, and it's the story of how they went to the military, and Eren learns about his powers, and it's a really good one, but there's a lot of death. Don't get too attached to the characters like I do. And the characters are really good. The animation's really good. It's very bloody. The manga is really good because I'm up to date on the manga. So, one of my other favorites is HEYYY. HEYYY is set to where the countries are people. It takes place in history and talks about a lot of historical events from the eyes of the countries. So a lot of people think it's actually pro-Nazi, but it's not. It just gets at both storylines, but it focuses a lot during the first season on the Axis powers. The main characters involve Germany, Italy, Japan, America, England, France, Russia, and China. They are the main group that do a lot of the videos. Like, they're in most of the episodes. You've also seen me cosplay a lot of HEYYY on my channel. So, yeah. Prince of Stride. Prince of Stride is a newer anime. It just came out in the last couple months. It's a sports anime, and it's pretty much running. So it's a running anime. If you are into track, if you're into sports like that, you'd like this. I'm not much into sports, but I love sports anime because sports anime is beautiful, and it's very well made, and it really makes you want to join a sport. Stride is a sport of running. It's like a tag running. It's a sport that I guess they do over in Japan. I'm not very sure, but it's very much like cross country or track. So it's really good. It's very colorful. It's one of my favorites. I just got done watching it, and Kuga is beautiful. Another one, Free. Free is a swimming anime based off of 4 kids, Makoto, Haru, Nagisa, and Rin, who were in middle school swimming clubs together, and Rin left for Australia, and the 3 of them stayed there, and the main character, Haru, gave up swimming because he didn't want to do it anymore, and they decide when they're in high school to make a swim club. And they invite the other character, Ray, and they create their swimming club, and they reunite with Ren, and Ren's in another swimming club, and it's really just like just 2 swim teams going at it with each other, but it gets better as it goes on. My favorite episode is the OVA, because that's hilarious, and it's a really good one. You should watch it if you're into swimming and guys in swimsuits, because that's beautiful. Everyone loves it. Um, another anime is Dramatical Murder. I do not suggest this for people who don't like yaoi or don't like same-sex couples. Mostly because it is actually based off of a yaoi anime, a yaoi game about the main character, Alba, who is it's like you can date any of the other guys, Clear, Tall Guy, Noise, Kojiku, or any of the other characters that are like side characters. It is in a futuristic world where there is, I guess, a computer game trying to take over by this guy, and they have to fight it. So it's mostly about kind of the relationships with him and the others. Don't watch the OVA if you're very sensitive about that stuff, because if you're like me and you try watching the OVA, I couldn't watch it. It's not that I don't like that stuff, it's just I'm not one to watch that, so I didn't watch it. Another really good one, it's a newer one, Owari no Seraph or Seraph of the End. This one is pretty much Attack on Titan, but instead of titans, it's vampires. It's about two kids, Yu and Mika, who grew up in an orphanage together, and there was a disease that came that killed everyone over the age of 12. And when that happened, a small population lived kind of fighting the vampires, but they had no idea because they became vampire, I guess, slaves to vampires, and vampires would harvest blood off of them. So, yeah, and they try to escape, and Yu makes it out, and it's kind of like trying to reunite the two. So it's really good. They just ended season 2, so they're coming out with a season 3 pretty soon, because suggestive ending, so yay! Another really good one, it's a shoujo, is Snow White with the Red Hair. Snow White with the Red Hair is about a girl named Shiryuki who has very bright red hair. She lives in this kingdom where the prince decides that he's going to choose her to be his bride, and she doesn't like that, so she flees the kingdom. When she does, she leaves over to Clarinus and runs into a prince named Zen, who she has no idea he's a prince, and they become friends. And it's the story of those two's love story. And they just came out with the new season. It's really good. A lot of angst. We finally got some more romance in, which is great. And it's a really good one if you're into shoujos, because it's it takes longer than a lot of them usually do. So it kind of like the friend story up to the love story. So it's really good. A really good battle anime or like action is Tokyo Ghoul. A lot of you have probably heard of it. It's pretty popular. So yeah, Tokyo Ghoul is set modernly in Japan, Tokyo, where there's an advanced type of people called ghouls who have to live off of people. So they kill and eat people, and of course people don't really like that, so they start to fight them. And this kid named Kaneki, who is a college student, likes this girl who happens to be a ghoul, and she decides to try and kill him. And when she tries, something bad happens, and he ends up in the hospital acting like a ghoul. So it's the story of him becoming a ghoul, and in season 2 it gets more in-depth about some of the others, and the ending episode was really sad. So yeah, it's a really sad anime. They're going to be making a season 3 hopefully, because all of us really want one. So I'm very excited about that. It's bloody, it's very much like Attack on Titan, maybe a little bit more gorier, but it's really good, and the theme song is amazing. So if you really like that stuff, you should watch that. Wolf Girl and Black Prince. That one is another shoujo about a girl who wants to be popular, and she wants people to like her. So she decides to try and get in with these two girls who always talk about their boyfriends. So she tries to lie to them that she has a boyfriend. When she does, they ask for a picture, and she takes a picture of this guy named HEYYY, who she's like, oh, well, never see this guy again, so might as well take a picture of him. And when she does, he happens to see it, and he sees her at school, and they make this deal where he'll pretend to be her boyfriend if she does all his dirty work, and we see the dark side of him. So it's kind of like their angst love story, and it gets better as it goes on, and we see a side of him that you don't really see. So it's really good. It's more of an angst where you see other guys who you'll start to ship with her, and then it'll give you a reason not to. So it's a really good one if you're into that stuff. So yeah. Carnival. Carnival is just like the name. It's people who it's an organization that are kind of like they fight groups. It's kind of like a police force called Carnival. It's about this creature kind of person. His name's Nai. He was found without any memory but the name Garaku. He's been trying to find this guy named Karaku and ends up meeting up with Gareki, Yogi, and this other girl who work with, Gareki doesn't, but who work with the group called Carnival. So they're trying to free Karaku, and Karaku has lost his memory, and it's a very good one. The manga talks more about it than the anime. The anime is quite short, but if you really get into it, reading the manga will be very much worth it. Magi, Labyrinth of Magic and Kingdom of Magic. This is one of my favorites because it's very good, and it's more of an Arabian Night kind of thing where you have your Arabian kingdoms in the first season, and then you meet up with more of the Eastern world where you have China down to India and all those other kind of kingdoms. You have names like Sinbad, Jafar, things like that, and it's very westernized friendly. It has a lot of storylines going on at once, so it's a lot of different things happening at once. So if you're into that, you should really watch it. If you can look at that much stuff at once. It's one of my favorites. I really want to cosplay it, but of course those cosplays take a lot of work. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just messing around with the thing because I like to mess around with stuff. Assassination Classroom. Assassination Classroom is about a group of kids who are really bad in their school, so they get put in this class called Class S, I think, and they're the worst kids in school. And the goal of that class is to kill their teacher. Their teacher is this creature who tried to destroy the moon and destroyed all of it except for the last crescent. And they have a year to kill him before he does it to the Earth. So that's their whole goal. And it's a very funny anime, and it's very interesting. So yeah, it's very good. It's a very good one. Number 6. It's one of my favorite Guy animes. It's based on it's kind of like Attack on Titan in a way, but not. They have walls. It keeps the people who are very poor out. So there's this guy named Shion who wants to be, I guess, a doctor, and there's this other guy named Nezumi who is an outsider who tries to get in. So they become friends when they're children, but Nezumi has to leave because the military's after him. And they meet up again when they're older, and there's this virus that's going around that's killing people. It makes them age in seconds and then kills them. And he ends up getting it, and his hair turns white. But he's able to get it out before he dies, so it's pretty interesting. But it's kind of it's not really suggested as a love story, but it's canon. It's canon. And it's really just them trying to survive, and you can tell they really like each other. And Shion really wants to help the people inside the walls, but Nezumi doesn't. So it's a really good one. It's an older one, so it's not as newer as some of these animes, but it's still a really good classic anime. Cute High Earth Defense Club. This one, I don't know why I watched it, but it's hilarious. It's pretty much Sailor Moon, but with men. And there is not a single girl in that whole anime. So it's about this group of boys who find this, I guess, muskrat or something. And they get these powers like Sailor Moon, and they have to fight evil. It's interesting to watch, and it's very funny. So if you think you want to watch it, you should. It's very funny. Arcana Famiglia. That is based off the tarot cards. Each character in it represents a tarot card. So the idea of that show is the family needs a new leader because the father is getting older, and in order to do that, you have to prove yourself willing to marry his daughter, and in order to do that, they have to beat each other, and the last person to win has to try and beat her. So it's very interesting. It's about the girl and the two boys who she hangs out with, and they're best friends, and they're both, the two boys are trying to get her hand. One wants to free her so she doesn't have to do it, and the other likes her because they're supposed to be engaged. So it's a very interesting one. It's one that's not very popular, but I think it should be. Another, if you like horror animes, Another is the right anime for you. It's very gory, and it will make you cringe. It's based off this storyline where 30 years before, there was a group of students who had the same thing happen, where a new student would appear, and they had to figure out who was the fake student. In order to do that, they had to kill someone, and if no one remembered them, then they were the fake student. So people started to die one by one. In order to stop it, you had to figure out who it was. So it's very gory, and a lot of people die. Like, oh my gosh, like every episode, 20 people die. Not really, but it's a very good one. So if you're into that stuff, this anime is right up your alley. Old High School Host Club. That one is a very old one, very westernized, so it's easy to understand. And it's about a girl named Haruhi who goes to this school for rich people, and she cross-dresses like a man. And there's this host club there who leads her into their midst and finds out she's a girl, and they have to keep her from the rest of the school, and it's just a very funny anime. And it's kind of a shoujo. There's romance involved, there's fun. It's a really good one. The manga actually, if you ever watched that or you have watched it, the manga actually leads up to some of the romance. So it's a very good one. I wish they animated more of it. Black Butler. Black Butler is about this kid named Ciel whose parents were lost in a fire, and he decides to sell his soul to have a demon butler named Sebastian. So it's the story of him and trying to take over his kingdom, like, not his what? His, kind of, business, his parents' business, and he's become head of the family, and it's, just about trying to survive in England. So it's a very good one. Blue Exorcist. This one is a older one that I found. It's about this kid named Ren, him and his twin, who are children of the devil, and he inherited the demon powers while his twin didn't. So he's trying to keep it from the rest of his group as he becomes an exorcist to kill the devil. So it's a very good story. It kind of gets the idea of who's good and who's bad, and it's kind of a twist, but it's really good, so you should watch it. K Project. Not only beautiful animation, but a good storyline and great music. The story of K Project is blues versus reds. You have the kings, who are kind of the leaders of the groups, and they kind of lead them. So it's kind of the idea of gangs. It's pretty much gangs. And so the main story is about trying to figure out who's the colorless king and who's the silver king. So they're trying to figure out who that guy is, and this guy named Shiro is seen as a suspect for the colorless king. So it's the story of trying to show that he's not the person that killed the person that died. So it's a very good mystery anime. Yona of the Dawn. Yona of the Dawn is a very good shoujo. it's more set back in Dark Age time, so it's about kingdoms and things. Well, Princess Yona is living a happy life. Everything could not go wrong with her crush, who happens to be a prince, and her bodyguard who loves her. So, of course, things go bad for everyone, because that's just how anime works. And she has to escape with her servant Hawk, and their love kind of evolves as they're trying to find the 4 dragons. I wish there was more. I haven't read any manga for it, so sadly. But you should definitely watch it if you like shoujo manga and anime, because it's a very good one. Legend of Legendary Heroes. This one is one of the oldest animes I ever started watching. It's very old and not very well known anymore. It's about this guy named Reiner who happens to have this weird power, and he works with the king of their kingdom. So it's him trying to do all these things for the king and learning the storyline of his power. So it's another really good action one, and you should really watch it because more people need to get into it. Our HEYYY. This one is about a girl and a boy who really liked each other back in middle school and hadn't seen each other. So when they go into high school, they meet again, and they didn't recognize each other, but the guy's changed from being the happy person that everyone loves to kind of being an asshole. So the girl decides that she still likes him, so she's trying to figure out how to get over him. And they kind of fall in love. So it's another shoujo. It's angst. It angers me sometimes, but it's a very good one. Raka no Yusha. Raka no Yusha is a not very well known mystery anime. It's about the group of the 6 flowers who will protect the world from the demons. And there happens to be a 7th. So they're trying to figure out who the fake one is, and it's a very interesting one because you don't know who it is. It's a pretty big surprise who it is. And then it's another really good one, so you should watch it. There's one part, like the last part, that made me cringe. Just lost it. I lost my play toy. I was having a lot of fun. So yeah, you should definitely watch it. Angel Beats. That one is a very good one. I watched it because I happened to see this really funny video of it, and I was like, ooh, this looks like a funny anime. I watched it, and it was really sad. And I sat there in my room for 3 days and was like, what is life? Literally. So, yep, that was my time afterwards. And it's literally based off of what happens after death. Like, if you live a life and it's not worth it, then you go to this place where you have to make peace with yourself. So it's a very good one. SAO. SAO is an anime based off Nerve Gear where you go into the game but you don't come out unless you beat all the levels. So it's about kind of a love story between the 2 characters and how they made it out of the game. So you should watch it. 7 Deadly Sins. 7 Deadly Sins is a newer one that I started watching. It's about the 7 deadly sins, as it says, and they used to be a part of this kingdom that was ruled by the Holy Knights. But they became rogues and left the kingdom and were going to overthrow it. But they were separated, and the princess decides to go and try and find them to help bring her kingdom back to the good side. It's full of plot twists, and it's very good. It's kind of sexually suggestive, but it's really good. It's a really good story. character is really good. My favorite character is Ban and Gale Thunder, so. Aquarian Evil. Aquarian Evil is based off of, it's kind of a mech anime, and they are fighting this other kingdom that needs women because women can't survive on their planet. So there's this guy who happens to be the kind of the descendant of the gods, so he's trying to save the world. So it's a very good one. It's not very well known. It's kind of a romance, but not really. So you should totally watch it. It's a very good one. So yep, that was a lot of my YouTube. That was my YouTube video. So that was my video. Woohoo! So yep, you should definitely try to watch some of these because you will definitely like them.